Going live in just a moment. All right, so we are live. Welcome back to WMMA Scene Now with your host, Chuck Stevenson, and welcome to episode number 104 of the WMMA Scene Report, our somewhat regular show where we go over everything going on within the world of the women's divisions of mixed martial arts. Tonight, we're going to be talking about fast referee stoppages in the women's divisions. Honestly, I've been feel like a lot of times the ref has been quicker to jump on to stop the ladies' fights than they would with the men. And my personal opinion is let them fight. And I'll go into a little more why in a little bit. But first, let's go over where we always start with the last weekend's results. So first up, we're going to Monterrey, Mexico, where we had Lux 15 and had one of the best fights of the year. Tani Torres defeated Sarai Orozco via majority decision for the Lux Fight League Strawweight Championship and winner of their Strawweight tournament. Torres climbed to 5-0. Orozco fell to 6-5. I did a full review on this fight. I included a link to watch it as well. If you haven't seen this fight yet, you've got to go see it. Like I said, this is a fight of the year contender. Just amazing all-out fight between these two. Then also on Friday night, we had Combate Global. Chantel Coates defeated Lucero Acosta via decision. I believe it was a split decision. Fight was okay. I expected a lot more action out of these two. I mean, you get two fighters who are both capable of knocking each other out. You expect a lot more leather being thrown. I mean, the fight was okay. I just was hoping for a lot more action out of it. But other than that, Chantel Coates won pretty much what I expected, just because she, is more patient striker and she excels at it, whereas Acosta, she was cautious, or I think she was a little overly cautious in this fight. I think she knew that Coates had that power and did not go all out like she usually does. And I think it cost her. Then on Saturday, had the UFC 265 pay-per-view, had 3 ladies bouts, supposed to have 4. The Nunes versus Pena Bantamweight Championship fell through after Nunes tested positive for COVID. But we still had 3 other ladies bouts. At flyweight, Melissa Gatto defeated Victoria Leonardo via TKO due to doctor stoppage between the second and third round. Gatto on the right-hand side there climbed 7-0. Leonardo fell to 8-4. Just all-around dominance by Melissa Gatto. I mean, she hadn't fought in a few years, but didn't really show it. Victoria Leonardo, I like her. I will watch her fight every time because she goes in there and goes all out, but she's just not on the UFC level yet. I mean, that's no other way I can put it. She is just not on UFC level yet. Then at strawweight, bittersweet fight for me. Jessica Penny on the right there defeated Karolina Kowalkiewicz via submission due to armbar. 4 minutes, 32 seconds of the first round. Penny climbed to 14-5. Kowalkiewicz fell to 12-7. Probably the last time we'll see Kowalkiewicz fight. Almost certainly the last time we'll see her fight in the octagon. She just doesn't have it anymore. I mean, she just doesn't. I mean, it's one thing when you're, not reacting well to punches from someone like Jessica Andrade or somebody like that. But when Jessica Penny's punches have you backing up and squinting and wincing, it's not a good sign. It's just not a good sign. Kowalkiewicz, she basically admitted after the fight on social media that it's time for her to hang him up. So, like I said, bittersweet. I'm happy for Penny, but really sad about Kowalkiewicz. Also, you may or may not hear thunder in the background. There's severe thunderstorms. So Then up on the main card, also at strawweight, Tisha Torres defeated Angela Hill via unanimous decision. Torres climbed to 13-5. Hill fell to 13-10. This is vintage Tiny Tornado here. I mean, she has looked amazing her last several fights. Defeated a top 15 fighter this time in Angela Hill. Hill just seemed, I don't know if Torres was that much faster than her or if Hill was a little bit slower this time, but Hill just was beating her to the punch every time. She had the better control of the range. Just overall, really great performance there by Tisha Torres. And Angela Hill still winless against any fighter with a ranking number next to their name. Phil Anderson says KK made a bad decision going to the ground with Penny. Yes, she did. I don't know what she was thinking. I mean, Penny's not, I mean, KK is not bad on the ground, but why would you choose to go to the ground to get someone like Penny, that's where she excels? And Phil also says Tisha looked great. I hope she gets top 5 matchup next. At least a top 10. At least top 10. So that's it for your weekend results. Let's move on into some news. Not a whole lot of news considering I skipped doing one of these last week. But first up, UFC September 4th fight night. Taila Santos is out of her bout with Mandy Baum. Ariana Lipski is stepping in. I think that's a lot better fight for Mandy Baum coming into the UFC. I mean, this is going to be her debut. She had like one fight in Bellator, and then now she's coming into the UFC. Lipski, this is do or die for Ariana Lipski. Do or die for Lipski. She's got to have a good result here against the promotional debutante in Mandy Monster Baum. Sucks for Santos. I think it was like injury or visa issues or something. But her loss is possibly Ariana Lipski's gain. But it's definitely should be an easier fight for Mandy Baum as well. Then UFC has an event going down November 20th. They added a flyweight bout. Joanne Calderwood taking on Alexa Grasso. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be a fun one for me. I'll be cheering for Grasso all the way. I'm never really been a fan of Calderwood, but if Grasso beats Calderwood here, then she's definitely, that'll be what, 3 in a row at flyweight for her, and this definitely gets her into contender status within the division. So it should be an exciting one. But if Calderwood can win, then she'll stop Grasso's flyweight momentum and immediately put herself right back there into contention. So should make for a good one. And then Deep Jewels 34 goes down September 4th. They added a tag team grappling bout. Hikaru Ono, Emi Tomomatsu, Seika Izawa, their current strawweight champ, and Mika Nagano will all be vying against each other in a grappling match. They're going to do a drawing in the cage before the event starts, and then that's how they decide their teams. And I think it's like one round with 2 pair, one round with the other pair, and then they decide, who goes in for that final round. So it's like basically a best of 3 matchup in grappling. But it should be a fun one. You have collegiate wrestler in Hikaru Ono, I believe a collegiate wrestler in Tomomatsu, a collegiate wrestler and judoka in Seika Izawa, and then Mika Nagano, I believe, was a wrestler as well. So all 4 of those fighters have pretty good, strong grappling credentials. Then Nakao Cyborg 10 goes down October 2nd in Brazil. I believe that is the promotion owned by Chris Cyborg. They're having a strawweight title bout. Nicole Cagliari coming in at 4-2, taking on Bruna Brazil coming in at 5-2-1. I've seen Cagliari fight a couple times. I think she fought at least once for Invicta and also once for Pancrase in Japan. Not a bad strawweight. I mean, I think she's definitely better than her record suggests. Then we have FCR 9 goes down September 4th, and that's going to be on UFC Fight Pass. They're having a strawweight bout between Elizabeth Rodriguez coming in at 4-3, taking on Josephine Lundgren Knudsen coming in at 1-0. Phil says, yes, it's owned by Cyborg. I thought so. Thanks for that, Phil. And then PFL goes down next week, this coming week on August 19th, and they announced the semifinal matchups for their championship for the flyweight bout, and then also announced a few other ladies bouts as well. And then the Beast Championship 2 goes down September 10th in Seoul. They're having a strawweight bout, Umbi Cho taking on Boram Han. Then Invicta 44 on August 27th added an atomweight bout. Katie Perez, who just fought for the Phoenix tournament, losing in the quarterfinals, will be taking on the debuting Natalie Salcido. So always nice to get an atomweight bout added to Invicta. Then we have B2 Fighting Series goes on August 28th in Birmingham, Alabama, having a bantamweight bout. Bridget Chase, the sister of Invicta veteran Hope Chase, will be taking on Invicta veteran Griffin Fisk. And then PFL, their finals, their world championship, is going down October 27th in, I believe, Atlantic City. Clarissa Shields will be having her second bout. She will be taking on Abigail Montez. Now, Montez is 2-0 as a pro, and this will be her third weight class in as many fights. Her debut fight, she fought as a bantamweight. Her second fight, she fought for Icon as a featherweight, and her third fight, she's moving up to bantamweight. Not a bad fighter. Might even be a step up from Shields' first fight. Montez trains out of the Lobo gym, from what I can remember, along with, like Alexa Grasso, Irene Aldana, Invicta flyweight champ Karina Rodriguez. So she comes from a good gym, good background there. And then finally in the news, KSW 63, I think it goes down next month. They added about Emilia Cervinska taking on Veronica Ezer. Both are making their pro debuts, but I don't have the date or what weight class. So like I said, not a whole lot going on in the news. So we're just rolling right through. This will probably end up being a short stream. But let's move on. Let's talk some ranking updates. Here, I'll go ahead and enlarge it. So in the UFC, we have some moves. They're all in the strawweight division. So let's start at the bottom. Angela Hill moves down 2 spots from number 12 to number 14, allowing Verna Jandiroba and Amanda Lemos to move up 2 spots. I don't have a problem with Hill moving down a spot or two because of the loss, but man, she did lose to a higher ranked fighter. So I'm kind of mixed on this one. But I mean, I think Verna and Lemos are definitely starting to get pushed as well. And I think that's the third straight loss for Angela Hill. So I mean, it's hard to blame them for moving her down. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's the third loss in 4 fights for Angela Hill. She is coming off of a win over Chris Cyborg. Tisha Torres moved up 1 spot from 10 to 9, moving Michelle Watterson down to the 10 spot. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, Torres just beat a ranked fighter, and Watterson has been, pretty inactive lately. I mean, when was her last fight? Michelle Watterson. Oh, Watterson just fought in May. I thought it was longer than that, but she's coming off a loss too. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that move either. Here's the weird one. Mackenzie Dern moved up 1 more spot. She was tied at number 5 or 6 with Marina Rodriguez, and they moved her back up 1 spot. Now she is tied at number 4 with Yan Xiaonan. This is how you know that. This is how you can tell when a higher ranked fighter has a fight coming up. They often just mysteriously move up a spot without having fought. I mean, granted, these two have been moving, around each other repeatedly lately. So it's kind of weird, but I'm not surprised that they moved Duran up one more spot to be tied with Jan so that they could, I mean, basically the goal is to try to get her closer and closer to a title shot. Duran is getting the big push right now. Of course, nothing going on at flyweight and nothing going on at bantamweight as well. Judy V, how's it going? Judy says August 27th, one Battleground. That's Battleground 3. B. Nguyen 6-6 versus Gentleman Olsen 4-2. Do you think Nguyen will get dropped if she loses? No, I don't think they'll drop B. She is just coming off that big win over Ritu Phogat, and for not having, the prettiest record, B does have a pretty loyal fan base. So people are always asking about her and cheering her on and everything. So I don't think they'll drop her if she loses to Jenilyn Olsen. I know that fight was recorded last week, so I think B got the win. And I'm not 100% on that, but I think she did. But thank you for bringing it up, though, Judy. I forgot to mention that in the fight announcements. Moving on to Bellator, no featherweight updates for Bellator, but we had some moves in flyweight after last weekend. So Vanessa Porto went from previously unranked to number 8. Good. She needs to be ranked. She's one of the better fighters in that division. She didn't have the cleanest fight against Ilara Joani, but she did get it done. Moving Diana of Saragova and Valerie Loretta each down one spot. And Hannah Guy got removed from the rankings. I'm not happy about that. Hannah Guy has the win over Valerie Loretta. So why is Valerie Loretta ranked instead of Hannah Guy? That kind of makes me mad. But Valerie Loretta still has the hype going for her. So that's it for ranks. Let's talk about this weekend. So this Friday night on Paramount Plus, if you're looking for English language commentary, or I think TUDN and Univision, Combate Global has their ladies one-night tournament. I did a full video preview on this one if you want to go check it out. So I'm just going to go over, each fight real quick. So for the tournament brackets, there's 4 quarterfinal bouts and then 2 reserve bouts. So first up in the quarterfinals, Yasmin. I still have no idea how to pronounce his name. Is it Haragui? Haragui taking on Stephanie Frausto. Haragui coming in at 5-0. Frausto coming in at 8-7. I'm taking Haragui to win this one. She has the momentum. Frausto, she's been there, she's seen it, but I just like Haragui's chances better. Then on that same side of the bracket, Cressida Adames taking on Yahaira Cunningham. Adames coming in at 4-0. Cunningham on the right coming in at 3-2. This one I could see going either way. I'm going to go with the undefeated momentum here and go with Cressida to win this one. Then on the other side of the bracket, we have Paulina Vargas coming in at 4-1, taking on Claudia Diaz coming in at 1-2. I'm going to go with the more experienced Paulina Vargas to win. Now, Diaz has fought more recently than Vargas. Diaz just fought earlier this year in April, picking up her first win. Vargas hasn't fought since, I think, 2019 when she broke her ankle. Or really, she dislocated her ankle. But I'm going to go with Vargas. From what I've seen of the two of them, Vargas just shows more promise to me and better skill set overall. Also on that side of the bracket, Karen Cedillo coming in at 4-2, taking on Claire Lopez coming in at 4-3. I'm taking Cedillo. I mean, Lopez is the Bellator vet, but one of the only real grappling-based fighters in this tournament as well. Actually, she's the only one in the tournament bracket that's more grappling based. But I'm going to go with Cedillo to win. Then in the reserve bouts, we have Delaney Bailey coming in at 3-2, taking on Carolyn Gallardo, coming in at 4-4. I'm going with Gallardo to win this one. I mean, she's had all of her bouts since the last time Bailey fought in MMA. I mean, Bailey hasn't fought MMA since, what did I say it was, 2015? April of 2015. She lost a decision at Invicta FC 12. She had a boxing bout and a bare knuckle bout in 2019, but this is her first time in MMA in quite a while. So I'm going to go with Carolyn Gallardo there on the right-hand side. Then in the other reserve bout, we have Camila Rivarola on the left, taking on Andrea Soarluz on the right. Rivarola coming in at 3-2-1. Soarluz coming in at 2-4. I'm going to take Rivarola there. I got to go with the fighter with the winning record over the fighter with the losing record. I haven't actually seen Soarluz fight. I have seen Rivarola fight. She's okay. More grappling based and striker based, which makes her a rarity in Combate Global, but I'll take her experience and her winning record over Soarluz. Then also on Friday, and this is a very dead weekend for MMA, or WMA rather. Besides this one-night tournament, we also have one ladies bout in the featherweight division on Bellator 264, Friday night on Showtime. Friday? Yeah, Friday. Pam Sorensen coming in at 8-3, taking on Roberta Pime Samad, coming in at 5-1. Sorensen coming off a win over Caitlin Young just shy of 2 years ago. Samad coming in off a decision win a little over 2 years ago. So neither fighter has been the most active recently. The former Invicta champ Sorensen coming in the elder fighter, 35 to Samad's 33 years. Samad will have 1 inch of height on Sorensen, 5 feet 8 inches, 173 centimeters, to Sorensen's 5 feet 7 inches, 170 centimeters. Ooh, Samad has a nice reach advantage. 69.5 inches, 177 centimeters, to Sorensen's 65 inch, 165 centimeters. I'm going to go with Sorensen on this one. I mean, you look at the record of Roberta Samad, and she just has an overall better. Sorensen just has an overall better record. She's fought more experienced fighters. I mean, all but one of Samad's opponent or wins were over debutantes. I mean, her lone win over a non-debutante was over Muriel Charneski, who was 3-5 at the time. Her lone loss comes to Julia Budd, which is no shame. That was way back in 2015. So since 2015, she's fought one time in 2019. Sorensen, she's been a lot more active since then. I mean, she made her debut in 2015 and has fought every year since then, but 2020. I mean, she's beaten, Elena Kolesnik, Jessica Rose Clark, who's in the UFC now. Jan Finney's an all right win. And then most recently defeated Caitlin Young for the Invicta title. Now she's making her Bellator debut. So I'm taking Sorensen. Just overall better skills, overall better record. I haven't seen anything out of Roberta Samad to make me want to pick her. So I'm going with Pam Bam Sorensen to win, most likely by decision. So that is it for the weekend preview. Like I said, not a whole lot going on. So tonight I wanted to talk about, bring it up here. These refs need to let these ladies fight. So often in women's fights in MMA, you see a girl, she starts to take a few punches standing up, and the referee dives in to save her. And real argue, honestly, you could argue a lot of the times that the fight could have been, allowed to continue at least a few seconds longer just to see. I mean, you got to sometimes let these ladies fight out of bad situations sometimes. I mean, we see it with the men all the time. They give these guys so many chances to fight out of bad situations. Whereas with the ladies, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's some instinct out of these guy refs, these male referees, that makes them want to just protect these ladies and stop the fight quicker, keep them from taking too much damage. I mean, we understand that the rule is to err on the side of caution, but I think a lot of times they are being way too cautious with some of these fighters. I mean, let me see if I can bring up a few examples here. Okay, Macy Barber has definitely been on the winning end of some fast stoppages. For example, Jillian Robertson, I think that was stopped a little fast. I think if they gave Robertson a few more seconds, she might have been able to fight out of it. Maybe not. But the point is, you got to give these ladies a chance. Who's another one? Oh, this one makes me laugh a little bit every time. Aspen Ladd. Let me see if I can bring her up here real quick. So Aspen Ladd has been on the end of some fast stoppages, on the winning side, rather, of some fast stoppages, because what she does is she gets her opponent to the ground, starts ground and pounding, and then starts screaming while as she's pounding to make it look like she's doing a lot more damage than she is, and it induces a fast stoppage. And then what's really funny is that Ladd, in her last fight, she got dropped, ate another punch, and the referee stopped it, and she complained that it was an early stoppage. It was a bit ironic to me, and now she's talked several times about, she doesn't want one of these refs that gives fast stoppages. But I just think that it's ironic coming from her, because she screams in order to elicit faster stoppages. So she definitely knows how to play the game. But really, I want to talk about, these refs need to start letting these ladies fight it out of bad situations, because here's the example. Last Friday night, the Lux main event, Connie Torres was in serious trouble in that second round. She got stunned by a kick and then dropped with some punches. And then she managed to fight her way over to the cage and then fight her way back to the feet, and was able to continue fighting and even started giving back and made it out of that second round. And that ended up being, a 5-round war. But, even her opponent said, she was surprised it wasn't stopped in the second round. A lot of times that fight would have been stopped. And she's right. A lot of times it probably would have been stopped. If it was I even said that on Twitter. I remember tweeted saying, if that were the UFC, the fight probably would have been stopped, because the refs there are just so quick to jump on stoppages for the ladies' fights. When had that been stopped, we would have been robbed of an amazing fight. Whereas Torres, she found the heart, she found the will, the drive to get out of that bad situation and come back and win that fight. It was an amazing fight. It was an amazing moment. And that's what happens when you give these ladies a chance to fight. Judy V makes a great point. Mario Yamasaki would let them fight. Yeah, I said that that referee gave Torres the chance to be a warrior, as it were. Are there times when fights go longer than they should? Yeah. Usually with the guys, okay? If you can let Anthony Smith literally get the teeth beat out of him, and he's literally there putting his hand to his mouth, spitting his teeth out into him, and throwing him away, and you let that fight go past that round, why are you jumping on the ladies to stop them just because they took 2 or 3 punches? Refs, if there's any referees watching this that happen to watch this, whether live or recorded, refs, let them fight a little bit, okay? Give the ladies a chance. Give them a chance to fight out of it. Give them a chance to get out of the trouble spot, okay? Let them fight. Moving on, let me bring it up here real quick. I made a community post last night about this young lady. I'll bring it over. I want to share the screen. Loveth Young, the Nigerian Terminator, posted this on Instagram a 2 days ago. I guess she's coming down with COVID and having a hard time with it. And it says, "Hi, my name is Loveth Patra, the Nigerian Terminator. I'm an MMA fighter, king of the cage, strawweight champion, LFA fighter. I am chasing my dream to making it to the UFC. I'm currently recovering from the COVID-19 virus. I'm struggling to feed, pay rent, and pay medical bills. I'm fundraising to help me meet up my outstanding expenses and to recover to get back in training camp to pursue my dream. Thank you all for your prayers and support. Recovering is going well. I just need helping hands to get through this struggle." She gave her Cash App, Zelle, whatever that is, and her email. And then GoFundMe is available in her bio. You know, like I always mention that there are various ways to help support your favorite fighters. You know, you can buy their gear if they got like a custom shirt. You can buy products that they are sponsored by. A lot of the times fighters will have, you know, like coupon codes, or a lot of times fighters make it so that they will take, you know, donations or sponsorships directly, especially fighters on like the regional scene, like Loveth Young here. If you want to check it out, like I said, her Cash App is Loveth Patra Ikufu, or you can go to Nigeria_Terminator, and she has her GoFundMe there in her bio. If you want to help her out, I'm gonna, you know, send a little bit of money her way, just to help her out there. She's a very good prospect, knockout power in her hands, legit knockout threat every time she steps into the cage. So, best of luck to her. Hope she does well. Just something I wanted to bring up. Judy, I guess you talked about Monty. A second, he would say, but did he die? Yeah. And then finally, for tonight, I booked my first interview for next week. On Wednesday night, I'll be interviewing Emily King there. She's going to be fighting at VFC 87, scheduled for September 3rd. Valor Fighting Challenge. Going to be taking on Danielle Hindley in the strawweight division. She is an Invicta and Bellator veteran, two-time Bellator vet. She's 1-1 there. So be interviewing her Wednesday. Right now, planning to record it and then probably post it Thursday night. So I'm going to make a community post seeking questions. So if you have any questions you would like to ask Mrs. King, go ahead and put them up in that community post when you see it. Please keep them respectful. That's all I ask. Keep them respectful. But that's all I have for tonight. You know, like I said, I was going to try to keep it short. I'm going to try to do one more recording tonight talking about Julia Budd. She's testing the free agency waters right now. So I'll try to get that done and put up before bedtime. If anyone has any more questions for me before I go ahead and put them in the chat. Judy V says congrats. Thank you, Judy. All right, so if no more questions, don't forget to hit the like button, please. That helps get the algorithm going. Share the stream as well when you get on. Anytime you come in, please share it. Help spread the word of the channel, get it going. And don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching.